actually had the temperature drop 35, 40 degrees on command. But that house was very active. I think 17 reported deaths in the house. Reported. God knows how many were unreported, but there were 17 reported deaths in the house, and we were able to, keep getting it to drop. And it was a summer day, from what I remember.
And the best thing was
while we're talking about temperature, one of the best experiences we had was in Gettysburg. We were on a nighttime investigation. It was the summer. It was September. It was probably about 75, 80 degrees in the evening. And we're doing an investigation, and we're with the group, and there was a young man. He was probably about 13 or 14. It was the first time he'd ever been ghost hunting, and he was asking questions and getting real warm at night. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's like, you know what? I'm getting chills. I'm getting goosebumps. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't know why I'm getting so cold. Now, the air around him was warm. All of a sudden, out of the blue, as he's speaking, you start to see his breath. So we obviously, it was something that you wouldn't even believe it unless you were there to see it. He's speaking, and you could see the cold breath as if it was 30 degrees outside coming out of his mouth as he was speaking. And it was one of the coolest experiences ever that we've ever had. Because it was visual, and it was personal, and it was right in front of us. So that just tells you how much energy or spirits can affect the air and influence what's going on around you. What this is a trigger object. So obviously when we go into some places, not all spirits are adults. If there is a child spirit, it's a toy. It makes them feel a little bit more comfortable. They're not so afraid. They see something that they may recognize as something that's comfortable and something they remember. And this little guy also has sensors in him. So you'll see his belly light up green, and it might be a little difficult to see, but he also has some red lights in his hands there. So what he does is he sits in a room all by himself, and he just hangs out. And when a specific energy source comes near him, he's going to start talking to whatever's near him. He'll say phrases, and he'll speak to whatever is around him without us having to be there.
The really wonderful thing about this area is that it is so historically rich. In good ways and really sad ways. The area that we live in, there was a lot of bloodshed.
Is my mother here in this building with us?
That's not Mark and Katie. So at this point, Mark and Katie are just trying to figure out what exactly they heard, and something was screaming at Mark and Katie in another language, and it was right in front of them without them seeing anything. So again, disembodied voice, but at a very loud level, literally screaming at them.
Come on, bring it up to red. If it's you, use your energy and pull that up. Yeah? Oh, AJ. Sorry. Oh, thank you so much. Oh. Okay. You feel it? Oh man.
Okay, so the spot that we were sitting, unbeknownst to us, was the spot that the one man actually passed away. So what AJ and I were experiencing at that time, we got that huge spike. We actually felt something pass through both of us. So I stopped recording and I just kind of said, okay, we need to talk about that for a second. Like we kind of need to discuss, because that's something that doesn't happen a lot. That's not normal. It's not normal to feel an energy pass through you as strongly as it did. So we were asking it to, come on, get that energy, like you can do it. And it did. That happened first, and we were really excited. But the sensation of something actually passing through you, where you feel an electrical charge come through your body, insane. We did take this case as a priority and we went back, how many times?
Twice. I think twice. There might have been a third, but I know.
I think we went back 2 or 3 times, and the thing with us is, like, I'll go back as many times as I need to. I don't care. I'll come back to your house 5, 6 times if I have to, just to fix it. I had a rock thrown at me. Hold on. This is the rock? Yes.
Who touched Alissa? You're gonna do that to me too. I heard that.
Turn the light on.
So I don't know if you guys.
I don't know, I just got the chills too.
So we were sitting, the basement that we were sitting in was a dirt basement. I was sitting on a wooden pallet, and I had leather boots on, and something threw a rock at me that hit my boot.
I heard that.
So when they have enough energy to actually pick something up and throw it, you know, something really fun is going on.
Baby's the kid's bed, I think.
And this was after I had the rocks thrown at me? Yes. So, she might have said something to me before and we just didn't catch it, but, the spirit that was there was making it very clear that she didn't want us there. A lot of times, if it's something that I know I can handle myself, I'll go to the house and sage the house, kind of do like just a general cleansing. There's a specific way of doing it, just to kind of clear the energy and, you know, calm things down a little bit. So what Mark thinks it says is, kill me. And, which would coincide really well, because, where this EVP was caught was right next to where one of the field hospitals was. So, there were many men that were dying, suffering.
Frank and I were in Gettysburg just for the day. We were with a couple other family members, and we were going there just to do the Gettysburg thing. We decided to do a historical tour of the Jenny Wade house. Jenny Wade was a young girl who lived in Gettysburg at the time of the war, and she was the only civilian ever killed during the Battle of Gettysburg. It was literally a situation where I'm standing here and there's a wall in front of me, the hallway wall, and I kind of just did one of these quick snaps in with my camera into the room. So I wasn't even in the room when this picture was taken. The funny thing was, I didn't even know that was in the picture until about 6 months after we got back from the trip. So I just happened to be randomly going through the pictures. I think I was like downloading them from the disc in the camera onto the laptop, and I just happened to be going through them, and I came across this picture, and I was like, oh my goodness. Because again, it wasn't a situation where I was there searching that out, and I picked up the laptop and I took it into the living room and I showed it to Frank, and I was like, is this real? Like, I'm not seeing that that's really what's there. So that just goes to show you what kind of energy and what kind of things are there.
We were actually recently approached by Travel Channel to be on Ghost Nation, and we actually had to turn them away because I don't have any clients that are scared. So they really wanted somebody that was really afraid to be living in their house, and I want to say unfortunately, but I can't say unfortunately, I don't have any clients that are afraid to live in their house.
There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of hours involved. I mean, you could be using video or be using audio. You got to go over all this. But like I said, when you do find something or if you capture something, it's very rewarding. In over 10 years of doing this, there's been, I could say that there's been enough experiences that I've had that I could say that there's definitely something out there.
Our main goal is to help people, and we do, and I'm really happy to